hair's still so wet. I look like Rick James. Ooh. No. That's Little Richard.
Let's go.
Hey, how you doing? How you feeling? My name's... Ooh, let me try this hand. My name's Phalafel. So earlier this month, I had the pleasure and honor of guesting at my first convention. Woo! Ah! Go crazy! Go stupid! I was a guest at San Japan in San Antonio. It ran from September 2nd through the 4th. This is not only my first time guesting at a convention, but also my first time traveling to an out-of-state con. Usually I keep pretty local to conventions, mainly in DC. It's very exciting. Kind of scary, I won't even lie. I was really nervous about the entire thing. So I just want to give a rundown of my experience the entire weekend, from prep, travel, to actually being at the convention. Show off some cosplays that I finally got the chance to take photos of and videos. All my quarantine builds, as well as getting to meet some incredible new people. It was a solid time, so let's just hop into it. As I mentioned earlier, this was my very first time traveling out of state, which meant the first time packing my cosplays to endure a flight. That was interesting. I've kind of come up with a system of cushioning everything that is foam or fragile with enough fabrics and wigs of other things, and hope for the best. What I also did do was pack kind of... Can you hear my scratching on the... Oh my god. What I did do, which I usually do for local cons, is I packed kind of a repair kit. An X-Acto blade, heat gun, hot glue gun, various little sewing knickknacks and adhesives and things that if something did happen and fall apart, which it did, I could fix it. I managed to pack everything into 2 suitcases, blessed, because Southwest got that 2 free bag limit, come on now. And I flew out to Texas. I'd been to Texas like once before, I think Austin, but I was very little, so I didn't really experience any of it. The weather there, y'all's heat is dry at the airport. It was a false sense of security. I was like, oh, this is great. It's not like super humid like it is in Maryland. Then we got to the Riverwalk. Ooh, it was tricky, but really pretty. I like San Antonio a lot. The city seemed cool. We arrived at the hotel and convention center, got a chance to peep everything the day before the convention actually started, which was very nice. The staff was incredible. Took such great care of all of the guests, really, but especially I felt very taken care of. They were great with answering any questions, making sure that we all felt all right, and if we needed anything, they were helpful in trying to provide it for us. And on the first night, actually, the night before the convention, they took us on like a boat tour of the Riverwalk. It was super cute. Nighttime, so all the lights were like shining. It was very cool. That was probably the most comfortable it felt. That entire weekend. I was also not in cosplay, so that attributes to like half of that. So day 1 of arrival was pretty easy. I mean, they made it as easy as possible for us to just quickly check in, get our stuff in the room, and experience the city for a little bit before the liveliness it's a good word of the con. Friday happens. I ran my first in-person panel with the wonderful Zach Savage Cosplays, who was also a co-judge, one of the co-judges for the cosplay contest. Before the panel, I was able to finally wear Noelle out, take wonderful pictures, lots of videos, and then in Noelle, Zach and I did a Cosplay Armory 101 panel. Somebody filmed it on YouTube. I cannot guarantee if that person was part of San Japan or not. But he came up and was just like, hey, is this cool to go on YouTube? And I just said, yeah. So it's somewhere. I've also put the slides, the Google Slides for that panel on my Beacons link, and I'll also link it in this video too if you want to check just be getting tips, tricks, tools that you may need, materials you run into, and kind of step by step how to approach making your own armor build out of foam and Warbler. After that, I immediately changed into Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog, good old miles per hour, and started a session of judging the cosplay contest, so seeing a lot of cosplayers come in. That night, I was able to see a little bit of the Artist Alley and Dealer's Hall, which was cool. I will say, when they be saying everything's bigger in Texas, they mean it. The convention center in general was massive, but it was massive and spacious. I think in total there was 22,000 attendees, something around that number. And there was so much space to move around, to distance if needed. Also, I just want to shout out to San Japan and their COVID protocol and regulations were like fully vaccinated or providing a negative test, and masks were required. And got the space between booths even. And usually, at least on the conventions I've been to on this side, so like Katsu, Oda, you know, MagFest, things like that. And when they have like a car display, there's usually like two or three cars that they bring in. There was like 20 of them jaunts in one area. Oh, my God. Friday was good. I was exhausted, so I did not do nothing Friday night. I went to bed. Saturday was a full day between doing all the prejudging to the actual cosplay contest, which was so much fun. Oh my gosh. Which, side disclaimer before I get into the rest of the day, it was incredible. Like, one of my favorite things is seeing the passion and joy in an artist's eyes when they're showing you their work. Oh, my bread and butter. It's just, it makes me so happy. It makes me feel inspired. Seeing their excitement for what they worked so hard to make, it's contagious. Maybe contagious is not the best word in recent times. I do also want to stress, if you're watching this right now, be it if you're entering a competition or not, right? I want artists to know you shouldn't apologize for the work that you've done. A number of people, and I've seen this at a lot of different conventions, when they're showing off their costumes, they're like, oh, I'm sorry that it looks like this, or like, I'm sorry that this isn't like done this way, or I know this looks really bad. Don't do that. Stop. Don't do that. Stop. We're artists, right? We're sensitive about our shit. We're going to be, but you should be so proud of taking the time and effort it takes to even start to make something, just based off of a passion or a love you have for a character, of a franchise, of what have you. That work is enough. You should never feel like sad or apologetic about it. You should take pride in the fact that you're like, I made this damn thing with my own hands, with my own, you know, abilities and things, resources around me. Even it may not have turned out exactly how you envisioned. It may not have turned out to look exactly 100% like the character, but that's okay, because the time that you've spent, your artistry is so special and valued in this world, and you should take just as much value in it as well. I just feel like I should say that, because that was another thing in judging the contest that like I kind of like hit my chest a little bit. I was like, don't apologize, take pride. You're like, hey, I made this thing, it took me this amount of time, I did these kinds of things to do it, and it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, so a full day of judging the cosplay contest. There were so many cool costumes. Everyone looked amazing. Their performances on stage were super fun to watch. Being able to spend the pre-judging and cosplay contest time with my fellow co-judges, Zach, Savage Cosplays, who I mentioned earlier, as well as Kirsten, Taco Cat Cosplay, was so much fun. I find their work to be stunning, very inspiring. Also, they're just like really cool people, very down to earth, hilarious. So getting the chance to spend time with them. Some other new friends I met, Kyra, Carol, Megan, being able to award all of the winners ourselves was super special too. I decided after a long day to still remain in cosplay for a few hours and shoot Wind Waker Ganondorf, which I wore during the cosplay contest. So I got to also finally wear Wind Waker Ganondorf, which was just, there is an area on the Riverwalk, it's like a grotto. It was very beautiful to shoot at night. So y'all just want, here's a cosplay montage. Let's just roll the clip, future Karina editing this, roll the clip. All those videos and photos that you just saw were taken by the wonderful and amazing Chris Iris Summons on Instagram and Twitter. He was also my cosplay handler for the entire weekend in my heart, so that was wonderful. Oh, right! I forgot it was Sunday. Sunday, I got the chance to run my second panel ever in the history of me running panels in person. This one was solo and it was on flipping a purchase cosplay. So if y'all have seen, a lot of subscribers, you probably have. If you've not subscribed, this is your opportunity to do so. I have a video on the same exact subject with my Ganyu cosplay as well, but I was able to give tips and tricks and answer a lot of questions about flipping a purchase cosplay and altering or fixing some pieces that you buy when you get something new. Sunday night, the staff treated us to a delicious steak dinner at Fogo de Chao, which I think there's one on this end, and yeah, I'm going back. There's one on this end, I'm going back. It was great. And then after the con and saying bye to everybody, we flew back to Maryland. And I slept for like 3 days straight because I realized that after nearly, maybe a little over 2 years of not going to conventions, she don't got the endurance like she used to. But honestly, if you were to ask me if I would do it again, absolutely in a heartbeat. It was an honor to be able to be guesting at a convention. San Japan staff just took such great care of us. I got to meet some incredible new friends and cosplayers who are just so inspirational. Got to take photos again, videos that are not in my apartment bedroom, which, you know, she was making do during quarantine. But it's nice to be able to fully shoot the work that I've been working on for these past 2 years and be able to see all the details and the blood, sweat, and love that I put into them. So if you want to see me potentially at your local convention, usually there is like a request form that a lot of these cons have. You can fill that out. Come on, see your girl. Let me catch a flight. Come on. That was my San Japan experience. It was awesome. Currently, I am working on a new build thanks to my Ko-fi supporters. I am working on King Dedede, specifically from Forgotten Lands. I also stream 3 nights a week on Twitch, Monday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern. Fridays are Craft Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come hang out. Streams are a fun time. We're goofy. Got little chicken nugget emotes. It's a time. Memes. Thanks again. I appreciate you watching this video. If you liked it, you know what button to press. Come on, hit me with the...
Oh my God, what is that?
That was...
Oh my God, what is that?
The like button. Subscribe. Thank you, I appreciate it. Love you, okay? Goodbye.